I started recording, so we will technically be live at this point on. And without further ado, we're going to read through Let's Hope You Feel Better. And you will start, obviously, with Act 1, Scene 1. So, Toby, take it away.
What are you doing?
Getting my camera. I'm going to document every moment of our engagement.
Seriously?
I want our children to be able to look back and see what their mommy and daddy were like before they let themselves go.
And you think a good place to start is after morning sex?
I think Addison and Marcia deserve to see what daddy's bedhead looked like.
And what if we have a boy?
Addison is a boy's name. Morning breath. Morning breath.
Well, you have the rest of your life to get used to it.
Or I could leave mouthwash by the bed. I really couldn't be happier.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
I know that face.
It's just a little big.
So we'll get it resized.
It's just, I've envisioned this moment for my entire life, and the ring always fit.
Reese, it's fine. Not everything needs to be perfect.
You're right.
Damn it.
You didn't take the day off?
It's an emergency. Did you get a chance to wash my scrubs? You're the only one who can get the stains out.
They're still in the laundry bag. They're clean, though.
Found them. You're the best.
No problem.
It won't be this bad next year. I promise.
I know.
You sure you'll be all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll just go to the library and work on my research, put some lectures together, maybe even call all of my friends and family and tell them the good news.
Good news? You mean great news?
Maybe I'll call all of my friends and family and tell them the great news.
I love you.
I love you.
Going to save some lives, Dr. Tobias?
My name is not Tobias, Ren.
Unbelievable. My best friend gets engaged, and I have to find out via a Facebook status posted by none other than that piece of shit, waste of space, ginger freak Archie.
Hello, Ren.
Honestly, I'm so offended, I don't think I even want to be your maid of honor. You clearly hate me. Clearly, you do not value our friendship, our sisterhood, the pledge we took together our freshman year at BU when we were both scared little girls entering the cold, unforgiving world on our own. We needed each other then, but now you have Toby. I guess there's no room for me anymore.
You finished?
Yeah. I mean, I have more written down, but I didn't get a chance to rehearse it before getting here.
It literally just happened last night. I was going to call you this morning if you gave me a chance.
I mean, Toby had time to tell Archie. Whatever, show me the ring.
It's too big.
So get it resized. Ready to celebrate?
Ren, it's not even noon and I have work to do.
Oh, yeah, the psychology of modern cannibalism is so much more important than celebrating your engagement.
It is when my master's is on the line.
It's just so bizarre.
It's not so bizarre. It's just a morbid curiosity, and we all have one. That's why people used to flock to public executions and why Survivor is in its 40th season.
But there is a huge difference between wanting to see people fight for food on a tropical island and looking at images of people with their stomachs ripped out.
Some people really like it, though. I actually found an entire online community for people with philias. You wouldn't believe what some of these people...
I'm going to stop you right there so I don't vomit. Now tell me how Dr. Toby popped the question. That's a happy topic. Bright and sunny, no blood, no murder, and everybody lives.
Well, we went to our favorite restaurant for our anniversary last night, and he just asked. He even got down on one knee.
That's all?
What do you mean, that's all?
I don't know. It's you and Toby, so I was expecting something that would make even Nicholas Sparks shed a tear.
Like what exactly?
Like, parachuting from a helicopter with 24 roses while wearing a tuxedo? Or borrowing 16 pugs and tying heart-shaped balloons to them?
Where would he even get 16 pugs?
I don't know. I'm not his engagement coach, though By the sound of it, it wouldn't have hurt.
Well, I don't care how he did it. I'm just happy I'll finally get to call myself Mrs. Therese Miller.
Well, if you're happy, I guess I'm happy too. So, what does your mom think?
Haven't told her yet.
Don't you think she has the right to know that her only daughter is getting married?
Mother and I have our own way of doing things. I'll tell her when I'm ready.
Weird.
I can't be under a microscope right now, okay?
Reese, this is one of those moments when a girl needs her mother.
I know that.
It's not like you guys have to be the Gilmore Girls. I mean, you should tie up any loose ends you have before you become Mrs. Tobias Miller. No one wants extra baggage.
I understand that, but his name isn't Tobias.
Yeah, sure it is. Anyway, isn't there something you want to ask me? Something you're just dying to ask?
Did you find a home for that golden retriever?
Therese, you know what I mean.
Ren, would you like to be my maid of honor?
That's it?
What? Do you want me to get down on bended knee? I'm not getting down on bended knee. I'll just ask Maisie.
What? No, I would love to be your maid of honor.
Maisie and I do share an office on campus, so it would be easier to have her as a maid of honor.
I was kidding. Come on, Jennifer has already promised Maisie she could be her maid of honor.
Oh, good. You can take Maisie's place when Jennifer gets married.
No way. Jennifer's the worst. I love her, but she's the worst.
Ren, of course you're my maid of honor. I wouldn't want anyone else up there with me. Back already?
I forgot my wallet. Did I miss anything important?
Therese just asked me to be her maid of honor.
Hey, that's great. Archie's going to be my best man.
This is so weird. Hearing your voice.
I know. But it's something I can get used to.
So, first things first. Coke or Pepsi?
How's that even a question? Coke?
What if the restaurant only serves Pepsi?
Then we would go someplace else.
Are we going to hell for this?
No.
Really? Catholicism looks down pretty harshly on this.
Well, good thing I'm not Catholic. I was always taught hell wasn't something to be scared of. It's a way to cleanse yourself of the sins you didn't atone for before you die.
That's actually comforting.
Are we ever going to make this real?
Make what real?
Us!
I want to. More than anything, you know that. Things are just complicated now. The boyfriend has become the fiancé.
What the fuck? Were you planning to tell me?
Of course I was, but
Reese.
I'll call you back. You scared me.
What the hell?
What are you doing? It's like 4 o'clock.
Rin was having some guy troubles and wanted my opinion.
Can't that wait until morning?
Technically, it is the morning.
It's cute. Try to come to bed soon. It's not healthy to stay up all night.
I'll try. Just let me finish up with Rin, okay?
Yeah?
Sorry. The fiancé came out for water.
So what? You guys are living together now?
I don't need to explain myself to you.
I know that, but...
But nothing. I have to go to bed now.
All right. Good night.
Good night. What now?
It's not all right, okay? We've been talking for weeks and I don't even know your fucking name.
Hey, bound by laughter. I don't know your name either. If I recall, that was your rule. After what I told you happened with my last two prospects.
And I told you I'm not like those guys, lady. And I don't want to wait anymore.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't want to be strung along anymore. We either end this or start making real plans.
I told you things are...
Complicated. I know.
So, how's it feel?
How does what feel?
Marrying the Ice Queen of New England.
She's not the Ice Queen. She's the princess. Her mother's the queen.
You're a better man than I am.
You just don't know Therese the way I do. Maybe if you talk to her more and Ren less.
Hey, now, you found your lady. Let me find mine.
Oh, right.
Something up?
No, nothing.
You mad I got the winning shot on the court today?
All right, fine. It's about Therese.
What about her? I thought she was perfect.
She is. She's just been weird lately.
Just lately?
Ew, gross.
Say that now, but you'll marry me one of these days.
Stop talking. Tobias!
What's up?
I just don't want Archie talking to me. I was hoping Therese was here so we could talk wedding stuff. When's she getting home?
I think she's on her way back, and, the second most important people in the wedding, you guys should try getting along.
Yeah, like, what are you planning for the bachelorette party?
I don't want anything trashy. A nice girls' night out will be just fine. Dinner, drinks, whatever. It doesn't help that you guys are rushing to the altar. Bun in the oven?
Come on, everyone knows fetuses can't grow in Arctic conditions.
Do you guys have anything fun planned?
Don't ask me. I'll be the last to know.
Not this time. I'm planning a huge weekend excursion to Atlantic City next month.
Oh, I didn't know you were a 50-year-old Jewish widow.
That would be cool, Arch. Just let me know what days so I can actually take time off.
That's the only reason I'm telling you now. Ren, you in? I'd like to get a stripper I know won't be a letdown.
Oh, shut up. Like you could ever afford me.
I didn't know we had company. I only bought enough food for me and Toby.
Toby and I.
I thought we could go out and talk about your bachelorette party.
Oh, well, I wanted to talk about the photographer with Toby since he has the night off. Maybe we can rain check?
Yeah, sure.
I'll go with you.
Only if you pay.
I always do.
You should have told me they were here. I would have brought more food.
It's fine. I didn't know Ren was coming over. What's this about photographers?
I really like this guy.
Not for that price.
Toby, you can either pay for quality or quantity. Personally, I would rather have quality.
And I don't want to go bankrupt over engagement photos.
The engagement pictures won't send us into bankruptcy. The wedding photos will.
Funny.
I just think his style is nice, very casual and fun and airy. Lord knows I don't need any more pictures of me looking like a doll.
All right, if you think we can afford it.
I can.
So, my cousin Mallory is going into wedding planning, and she wants to do ours for free in exchange for a testimonial.
Mallory. Is Mallory the fat one?
She's not fat. I'll admit she's a little robust, but she's not fat.
Mallory is the fat one and thinks that pink and turquoise make good color palette. Toby, no, you saw her bathroom.
I think it would be a good idea if you had someone else help you. Mallory offered to do it for free, and she won't decorate the bathrooms, I promise.
I'd rather hire a professional.
Mallory's almost a professional.
Our wedding would look...
It'll look fine. You already have too much on your plate with school.
Honestly, how much could a good wedding planner cost?
More than what's in our budget.
Then we'll cut back somewhere. I just really don't want your tasteless cousin helping with our wedding. God, I need a cigarette.
The only place we might have room to cut is the cake.
Not the cake. That's the focal point of our reception.
It's Mallory or the cake. If you really don't want Mallory's help and want to hire someone else, I do have a suggestion.
No.
My parents offered everything they can.
No.
She's your mother.
No.
No, she's not your mother, or no, you won't ask her?
I spent 18 years with that woman controlling every aspect of my childhood. I'm not going back to that. I can't. I won't.
I get that. I really do. But I don't think it would be a bad idea if you at least asked.
You people keep telling me that, but if I let her be a part of it, then it's going to stop being our wedding. And it won't end with the wedding.
This isn't really about a planner, is it?
Yes, it's about the planner. That's what we're talking about.
I think we're talking about your inability to let other people help you because of your constant need for perfection.
Toby, it's not that deep. This is my wedding, and I'm not about to let it become one of my mother's projects or let Mallory make it look like her bathroom.
I understand. And I assure you that Mallory will do everything you tell her.
Either Ren or myself must approve any suggestion she makes.
Naturally.
And our colors are going to be Tiffany blue and white glitter with some yellow accents. Maybe some yellow accents. No debate.
It's a little feminine, but okay.
I love you, Toby. I really do.
I would hope so.
I mean it. I know I can be a little high-strung and bitchy at times, but I love you so much. I love that you've put up with me for so long when you could have left.
I love you too. I have from the moment you loaned me that pencil. You are the most beautiful girl I've ever met, and I can't wait to call you my wife. I'll get it. You go put on that black lace thing.
Not the leather strappy thing?
No, yeah, that one. Hello?
Who was it?
Dunno. They hung up. Hello?
Hi?
Who's this?
This is,
Are you one of Theresa's students?
yes?
Psych 101 with Professor Blanc.
Who is it?
Here she is. It's one of your students, I think. Sounds like you might need some tutoring.
Bite me.
Hurry up. I'll be in the bedroom.
Put on the leather strappy thing. This is Professor Blanc?
It's me, Bound by Laughter.
What? Why the hell are you calling me so early?
I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting your fiance to answer.
What do you want?
I just wanted to talk.
Talk? About what?
The other night, I'm sorry. I wasn't angry. I was just frustrated.
I noticed.
I'm just ready to meet you and get this over with. But I feel like you're just leading me on. And tonight, I don't know. I guess I was just feeling lonely and wanted to talk to someone.
Is everything all right?
Everything's fine. Things feel weird, you know?
How so?
Well, why were you on the forum? Really?
Well, I was there to do research for my thesis.
But why research this? I don't get any of it.
Well, when I started my research, I was just going to do it on serial killers and early warning signs. Then I read these 2 cases about people meeting online for what was essentially assisted suicide, which inevitably led me to Modern Cannibal.
So that's why you were on the site?
Yes. I was researching those interested in vorophilia. You, however, seem to be interested in a lot more than role-playing.
I'm just tired of living in this world where we can care more about the Kardashians than our own neighbors. I was hoping to find someone else who felt that way. Or at least someone wanting to live out their fantasies. It's just hard, continuing to live when you really want to just stop existing. But why would you want to help me? Is this still just research?
It's hard to explain. I think it's really beautiful to really become one with another being.
You know, I tried to do it myself a couple years ago after Rachel left me. She was my fiance. My former roommate found me. Doctors pumped my stomach. What do you think would be the worst way to die?
It depends on what you mean by that. If I were murdered, I think the worst case scenario would be asphyxiation due to a curling iron up the, But if we're talking about suicide, which I assume you are, I think jumping off a building would be the worst.
Oh, really?
Yes, there's too much in-between time and no way to reverse the decision if you change your mind. And even if you did survive it, it wouldn't really be a life worth living.
Good point. How are you going to do me?
Interesting way to phrase it.
You know what I mean.
I'm not sure yet. However, I can assure you it will be quick and painless. The same way we take care of the animals at the slaughterhouse. We'll probably go out to my family's cabin. We don't go up there anymore.
What are you going to do with my body afterward?
I suppose I'd have to drain the blood first. At the slaughterhouse, they would gut the animals by cutting them down the center. Once that was finished...
No, actually, don't tell me. I don't care what happens to my body.
Really?
Yeah, my body isn't me. My mind is me.
I suppose that's a good way to look at it.
Can I ask you something, since you're a therapist and all?
What?
You think this is selfish, what we're doing?
I don't really know. But what do you think is more selfish? Someone killing themselves or forcing someone to continue living in a world where they're completely miserable just so you don't have to miss them?
I've never really thought about it that way. What about you? Is what you're going to do selfish?
I don't know. I guess I'll find out, but I like to think I'm helping someone in need.
What happens when we die?
Gosh, that's the question, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think anyone but the dead can answer that. I think that's why we have our religions, to give us some sense of closure about losing the ones we love.
Like ghosts?
Ghosts, reincarnations, heaven. As much as I like to think there's something after we die, I really just think it's something we invented to cope with death.
Yeah. It's pretty terrifying to think that once you're gone, that's it. You're just
Gone? You're not having second thoughts, are you? It's fine if you are, because I'd rather know now than later.
No, of course. Hey,
Yeah?
I'm really happy I found you.
I'm happy too. I think I need to call my mother.
I'm sorry?
I haven't called my mother yet about my engagement, and I really should. She's the only family I have.
Well, then you should call her. Doesn't a girl need her mother for big moments in her life?
Babe.
Yeah. I'm glad you called.
Me too.
And you're sure you're not having second thoughts? It's not too late to back out.
No, I really want to do this. I want to give you this.
Promise?
I promise.
You ready?
It's a little tight. Why are we doing this anyway? I thought you wanted to go to New York.
Oh, no, I do. I just thought it was crazy. What can't you find on the internet?
Not much, apparently. Okay, I think I'm ready.
Babe, you look amazing.
Yeah, well, it's a dress.
You don't like it?
Lace makes me itch.
But it looks amazing on you. You look like a little doll. I love it so much. God, I need to find a man.
Is there anything not lace in this pile?
No, I thought you would want lace. It's classy.
Well, then, I guess that's a wrap for today. Besides, it feels wrong doing this without Jennifer and Maisie.
Sure, you're right.
And Mother.
Yeah? I suppose that would be weird.
I think I'm going to invite my mother to New York.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I've just been thinking that you're right. I should be open to inviting her to be a part of this whole process.
It's about time you start listening to me.
Do you want to go to Whole Foods? I need to pick up stuff for dinner. We can get lunch.
Only if I can leave these dresses here. I don't want to look like some psychopath.
It's usually the ones that don't look like psychopaths that are up to something nefarious, you know?
Do you have your produce bags?
I don't have produce bags.
Then why even bother with the reusable bags if you're going to half-ass it?
All right, I'll order some reusable produce bags. Sorry.
I'm just messing with you. At least you're trying.
No, you're right. I shouldn't half-ass it.
So you're saying you agree with it?
I wouldn't do it, but who am I to decide what the right choice is for someone else?
Maybe you ladies can help us. Assisted suicide. Yay or nay?
God, not this! Why can't we talk about something pleasant for once? This gruesome shit is why I dropped out.
Insightful. Come on, Miss Doom and Gloom. What's your opinion on the matter?
I'm for it.
What?
I believe everyone has a right to die the way they want to.
But as a doctor, shouldn't you try to help them?
Exactly. Do no harm.
But what if the best way to help them is by,
Euthanization?
yeah, that.
We do it to our pets, so why should humans be any different?
Hey, leave the animals out of this.
But when does it end? Do we stop at terminal illness, or do we allow those with severe depression to all die with dignity?
They can do it themselves.
What if they can't, though? Isn't it more respectful to their families to provide a body with no visible signs of trauma?
You've thought a lot about this.
Can we go? Whole Foods? Lunch?
Maybe we should change the subject.
No, Toby, it's fine. I found my father in the bathtub. He killed himself.
Oh, shit.
So that's why I believe everyone should be able to die with dignity, so others don't have to go through that trauma.
There's still the trauma of losing someone.
And what if they change their mind halfway through?
Then it's not too late to stop the process. It's all about respecting the wishes of the individual, Toby. Jack Kevorkian did say...
Kevorkian was a murderer. But I guess we'll never agree on that. But this is what's going to make her a great mental health expert. She's going to crack the minds of these people and give them the help they deserve, so that creeps like him don't prey on the helpless.
So, on a lighter note, Toby, have you asked the princess about next weekend?
What's next weekend?
Oh, Christ. I want to take Toby to Atlantic City for his bachelor party.
Oh.
It's just Friday through Sunday. I'll be home in the evening.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're really going to make it that easy for him?
I don't have a problem with it. After all, we're going to New York this weekend for our girls' trip. It'll give me time to work, uninterrupted.
Blech.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I have to use the bathroom, and then Rin and I are going to Whole Foods. Think about anything you might want.
Hey, what? You want to come up this weekend? Yeah, I guess I could move some things around. Are we gonna... Okay, no, it's fine. I can't wait to meet you either. You can stop calling me that now. My name's Isaac. Hey, I was starting to think you weren't gonna show.
You're tall. Taller than I was expecting. Are you going to let me in?
Oh, yeah, of course. Just sit anywhere. Sorry, it's kind of a mess. I don't usually have people over, or ever have people over.
Sorry I'm late. We ended up bar hopping.
Any luck?
Not really. My maid of honor and I are having trouble agreeing on a style, and my mother didn't show up, even though she said she would. Or did you mean with bar hopping? Rin had plenty of luck. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to play anymore.
Do you want a drink?
Wine?
I have beer.
That's fine.
I hope you're not driving.
Drive in New York. You should know better.
You're not what I was expecting either. Younger, prettier.
So, I've been thinking.
Sounds dangerous.
I've been thinking more about that question you asked. Why do I want to do this? Well, so when I was a little girl, my mother had a cat, and I hated it. And I'm pretty sure it hated me from the moment I was born. One day, it got into the attic and fell out the window. I found it, and something about how it was alive and then it just wasn't fascinated me. That's how I started down this rabbit hole. Just everything about it has always haunted me, and soon I wanted to know what it was like to take someone's life. Maybe that's why I'm marrying a surgeon. Why my thesis is on the Modern Cannibal. And why it inevitably led me to you.
What about your fiance?
Don't get me wrong, I love Toby. I'm going to marry him, and we're going to have a nice house with a white picket fence and 2.5 children. It's just, he wouldn't understand. I mean, he wants to cut people open to save them. I don't think he's ever had a mischievous thought in his head. And the kind that starts to eat away at you like poison, haunting every moment of your life. He just wouldn't understand any of that. And I don't think it's wrong to find someone who would. Someone who can see the darkest parts of my mind and still want me. Everyone deserves that. And if I didn't find it in you, then I don't know what would have happened to me. And that scares me. Aren't you going to say anything?
I'm just taking it all in.
Really, despite my obvious privileges, I didn't have that great of a childhood. My parents fought all the time until my father killed himself.
Huh. Interesting.
Interesting? That's all you have to say about my tragic childhood? Toby cried when I told him.
Well, we all have pretty shitty childhoods when you think about it. At least you have someone to go home to and money. All I have is this.
Yeah, because money takes away the loneliness. Fuck you.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just having trouble sympathizing with your story.
Who's this?
My niece, Abby.
Looks like she adores you. Oh my God, what are we doing?
Where are you going?
We can't do this. I can't help you die knowing there's someone who's gonna miss you.
Therese, that picture was taken 10 years ago.
What?
I was staying with them after I tried to, After a while, I needed a new vice and I stole their TV to pay for some crank. They haven't spoken to me since. I told you, I have nothing to lose. Nobody's going to miss me.
But this isn't normal.
What is?
You don't get it. We were talking about assisted suicide, and Toby is disgusted by it. Yet here I am, getting off to the thought of taking a life and the power rush it'll bring.
It is like playing God.
Exactly.
I don't care if what we have is normal. I like it, and I like you.
Je pourrais tomber amoureux de toi.
What does that mean?
It's just a stupid French saying. I love this song.
You're not old enough to love this song.
Good music knows no age. Dance with me. I wanted this song to be our first dance, but Toby vetoed it. He thinks it's more sad than romantic.
We don't need to talk about him right now. I don't want it to hurt.
I'll do my best.
Let's do it tonight.
We can't do it tonight. Don't be ridiculous.
Why not? I'm ready, and you're here. I can't wait anymore.
You'll have to. I can't do it tonight. It's not right. It's not perfect. What if someone sees me leave?
I don't fucking get you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why did you want to come here tonight if you didn't want to do it?
I thought it would be nice to meet before the time comes, so we're not complete strangers when I don't know what you want from me. I don't know the rules.
Really? You're the one making them.
I can't do it tonight because I'm not ready. There's too much happening right now. I can't help you and then go home tomorrow to Toby. It's just all wrong right now. But people who've been in your position before have changed their mind at the last minute. So I was wondering if there was some way you could actually prove that you're serious about this.
I haven't liked myself for a very long time. Everyone in my life sees just how shitty I am. This is the first time in life I've actually cared about someone more than myself. I'm doing this for you. I'm not going to let you down. I really want to make you happy. Who is it?
Toby,
Ignore it. What are you going to do with my skull?
I thought you didn't care what happens to your body. Your soul is what matters. Your body is just the physical vessel.
I'm curious.
Curiosity killed the cat.
The satisfaction brought it back. We always leave that line out.
I haven't thought about it yet. Maybe grind it up with the rest of your bones and use it to make bread. I think I'll use the other parts of you for a hearty steak dinner. Barbecue? There's going to be a lot of meat.
You could make it into an ashtray.
I don't smoke unless I'm stressed. I don't smoke unless I'm stressed. I quit for Toby.
Fuck Toby.
That's not very nice. I should go. I'm sharing a room with my friend, and if she wakes up and I'm not there...
I get it. You have an early meeting in the morning.
I'll be in touch once I find a place.
Yeah. Just let me know. I'll be there in a heartbeat. Well, actually, maybe give me a day to finish up some last-minute business.
Of course. I wouldn't want you leaving without closure.
Thank you for tonight. And everything still to come.
What's the occasion? You only get me flowers if you have a coupon.
Flowers? Oh, no, I didn't get those for you. Someone else sent them.
Did you check the card?
They aren't my flowers.
They're from Mother. Sorry, mon poupée. Maybe next time? Much love, Mama.
She didn't come to New York? Why didn't you tell me? I tried calling you last night.
It's not important. It just sucks that she makes me feel like garbage for not attending her events, but won't come to something that's important to me.
Come here.
What?
I just want to look at you. I missed you.
Have you always been this corny?
You're glowing.
Don't be stupid. People don't glow.
You do. You always light up the room.
Do you want something?
Can't a man give his bride a compliment?
What do you want?
Do you think, instead of immediately flying to the Bahamas, we could spend a few days at your family's cabin?
Cabin.
Yeah, it's just a lot of money to put down in a short amount of time, and the cabin is really quiet from what I remember.
How do you remember the cabin? I barely remember the cabin.
We went up for our first spring break, remember?
Right. The cabin.
How do you forget about your family's property?
White upper middle class privilege?
Okay, I'll buy it.
But yes, we could go to the cabin after the wedding. That's fine.
Awesome.
Are you ready for your trip this weekend?
No, I wasn't planning to pack until the night before the way I always do.
And you always forget something.
I'll make a list.
Do you know what y'all are going to do?
Gamble, mostly. But how was New York? Did you guys raise hell?
New York was good.
Jess good? Did you find the dress?
I can't tell you.
Why not?
I don't want to jinx it.
All right, but I think you did. It would explain why you're glowing.
I'm not glowing. What are you doing?
I want to document every moment of our engagement.
Okay. All right, that's enough affection for now. Are there going to be strippers?
No, of course not.
Are you sure?
I promise there won't be any strippers. Are you trying to tell me you don't want me to go?
I want you to go, Toby. Just promise you'll be honest about anything that happens.
Of course. I'll even text you every 5 minutes so you know I'm behaving.
Toby, I want you to be happy. I hope you know that.
Well, I hope you would. It would make things a little awkward if you didn't. Did anything else happen in New York that you want to talk about? You seem off.
I'm fine. I promise. I'm just letting you know I trust you.
And I trust you. I hope, while I'm gone, you use it as a chance to relax.
I can try.
I love you.
You too.
I left my phone charger in the car. I'm going to run down and get it. Do you want to order Chinese for dinner or Thai?
I'm kind of in a mood for Italian.
I'm cool with that.
Yes?
It's me.
Oh, God, you're early. Hi.
Hi. So this is your place?
Yeah, this is it. We're going to head to the cabin in the morning. I can't believe I forgot about the cabin. It's completely isolated. It's perfect. Everything is going to be perfect.
Great. So how much does a place like this cost up here? If you don't mind my asking.
I don't know. Mother pays for it. I think 2,000. Oh, the roast.
Roast?
Yes, I made some dinner and appetizers. It's the least I can do.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, I mean, I don't know how you're going to get rid of my body, but if it involves cutting me open, and if I die before I finish digesting, it might get a little messy. Well, messier.
Well, I guess we can just enjoy the smell then.
No, you go ahead and eat. I appreciate the thought, though. It was really nice of you.
No, I wouldn't be comfortable eating in front of you. What are those for?
They're here to make it easier on my end. Put me right to sleep. I won't feel a thing, hopefully.
Oh.
So, Toby's gone for the weekend?
Yeah, he and his friends left this morning. Won't be back till Monday.
All right, then.
Isaac,
Yeah?
I'm really glad it's you.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think you're the only one who truly understands why this is important to me.
I try to.
Sometimes I think you understand me better than Toby.
Really?
Really. Since we started talking, I've wondered what it would have been like if we met under other circumstances. Maybe things would have been different for us.
Yeah, I think that too.
You do?
Therese, I think you're the best thing that could have ever happened to me. So yeah, I wish things could have gone differently for us. I can't remember the last time someone cared about me the way you do. I love you.
Come on.
Where?
Let's just enjoy our last night together.
It doesn't have to be our last night.
What was that?
What if this doesn't need to be our last night?
I don't get what you're saying. Are you changing your mind?
I think I am.
No, not again.
Reese, it's okay. Just stay calm.
No, you promised.
I'm sorry, but you said since the beginning that I'm allowed to change my mind.
No, I said I wanted serious candidates only, and you promised you were serious.
Therese, I want to be with you forever, but I want to be alive for it. We understand each other, and that's all we've ever wanted.
No.
We can run away and be together. I mean it. Let's get the hell out of here. We can go anywhere we want.
Fuck you.
You really need to calm down before someone hears you.
I don't give a shit. You said I could trust you.
You can. I do want to give myself to you. Just not that way anymore. Pack a bag and we'll leave tonight.
Why the hell would I want to start a life with you when I have Toby?
Obi? If you really wanted him, you wouldn't have come to me that night. You wouldn't have kissed me.
It didn't mean anything. I thought I was doing you a favor.
Every time my hand was up your skirt, you thought that was doing me a favor?
Shut up. The only reason I posted that ad was to live out a fantasy. I never wanted it to be like this. I'm marrying.
Oh my God. If you say that one more time, I'm going to stab you.
So, you really don't want to go through with this?
No, I have you now, and you're worth living for. I'm sorry I couldn't be what you wanted. I've always been told that things are going to get better, and I never believed it until I met you. I mean it when I say I love you, Therese. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
You really do.
You promised. Hi, sweetie. How was the drive? Oh, well, I'm just glad you guys got there all right. No, nothing much. It's been pretty boring today. Well, I don't want to keep you from enjoying your weekend. You too. See you Monday. Oh, shit. Mama, I'm sorry for calling you so late, but I need your help. There's been an accident. It's open.
What is it? Why did you call me so late? God, what did you do?
I thought I could do this by myself, but Mama, his eyes are still open. I thought they were supposed to close when you died. Daddy's were closed.
Ma poupée, I'm here.
I tried to take him apart, but I couldn't, and then he was staring at me.
Now stop that. Crying won't clean up this mess you've made. Let's see a smile. Good girl. He's tall, isn't he? I don't remember Toby being as tall.
It's not Toby, Mama.
Not Toby. Oh, dear.
Don't look at me like that. I met him online, and he wanted...
Stop! I don't care about that. What are you going to tell the police?
There won't be any police.
You sound so certain.
I have everything covered, Mother. No one's going to look for him. He was nobody.
Then why call me?
Because I don't know what to do when he's looking at me. I thought your eyes were supposed to close when you die.
The eyelids... Therese, you need to close the eyelids yourself.
I can't. It looks sad.
Is that better?
Will you help me?
With what?
I need to get rid of it. It can't still be here when Toby comes home.
What were you planning to do with it?
We need to cut it up, right? And then I was going to hide him in the woods by the cabin.
No.
No?
No, it will attract wild animals, which will lead to someone finding the remains. Honestly, ma poupée, you can be so dim.
Then what should we do with it?
We'll take it to the slaughterhouse, run it through the grinder.
Mother!
We won't package it. God. Throw it away with the rest of the bad meat. Between you and I, ma poupée, I would figure out what to say when people come looking for him.
No one is going to.
Ah, don't take that tone with me if you want your mama to help you. But if he came here thinking he'd leave, someone may end up missing him.
He didn't think he would leave. He wanted this.
Tomorrow, I want you to go to the police station and file a restraining order against him. I'll go with you as your concerned mother.
A restraining order? Why?
He began stalking you for whatever reason. So you got a restraining order against him. That way, should this ever come back to you, you can say it was self-defense. Now, go get me the trash bag and the good knives. So, where is Toby?
What?
He isn't here, so where is he? I'm just trying to make conversation.
He went down to Atlantic City for his bachelor party weekend.
I see. We should strip so we don't ruin our clothes. Those already look bad, but we can burn them. But I'm your mother. And how is the wedding planning going? Lift the legs.
I really don't think now is the time to talk about the wedding.
Why not? I feel like we haven't spoken in ages. A torso.
I invited you to dress shopping twice.
What daughter of mine doesn't have a cleaver?
We don't do our own butchering.
Where did I go wrong? And there's more to a wedding than dress shopping. I always imagined you would have this great lavish ceremony.
We're having a small ceremony in his parents' lake house. We're trying to save money.
We have money.
Mother, can we please focus on the task at hand?
I'm focused. After all, this is the first time you've wanted to do something with me in months.
Seriously?
Serious. I hate how you've shut me out of your life.
I didn't shut you out.
Let me be part of your wedding.
You are.
An active part.
Mother.
No? This whole situation is very traumatic. I don't know if I'll be able to keep it to myself. I may need to confide in someone about my daughter, the murderer.
Are you blackmailing me into letting you help plan my wedding?
No. I'm asking you to let me be in your life again. Girl needs her mother for the big moments. We're going to need a new rug. We can go shopping tomorrow. Maybe even get you a new couch to match. Make a girl's stay of it.
Fine, Mother.
Stop with the mother. Show some gratitude for everything I do for you.
Sorry, Mama. I appreciate everything you do for me.
Very good, ma poupée. Now let's hurry. No. Cut at the joints. They're easier to get through than the bone.
I hate that woman.
Which one today?
Both of them. And fuck all if they're actually in the same room. Honestly, Teresa's a lot more normal than she should be.
If you say so. Toby's out getting his tux.
Where's Reese?
She's your friend.
She's not as bad as you think she is. She can actually be really fun when you get to know her.
It's not that she isn't sweet. She's just got that creepy rich kid thing about her.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. It's just this look some of them have that makes me wonder how many small rodents they microwaved when they were young.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, I never microwaved a hamster outside of Maniac Mansion. Does something smell like a wet dog?
Me. It was Bathe, the kennel.
It's good to know they actually bathe you.
Oh, shut up. From what I hear, you're the dog.
What do you hear?
Just things. She didn't microwave rodents.
So, are there any other members of the family I should know about?
Most of them are coming in from France and don't speak English and don't even think of mentioning that new health documentary to her mom.
Yeah, I already learned that lesson. Where are you staying this weekend?
Don't worry, I made sure our rooms are on the same floor.
Excellent.
Oh, come on. Well, this is fine as long as you guys don't break up before the wedding.
We're not dating.
Why ruin a good thing?
Hey, as long as you guys don't do anything stupid before the wedding, I'm cool with whatever. Is Reese back?
Nope.
Great. I'm going to take her camera and make a slideshow for the rehearsal.
Have you asked Madame Blanc?
It's my wedding. I don't need to ask her permission to surprise my bride.
Vom.
Yes, Mother. Rin picked them up on her way over. Mother, did you change the order? Because I didn't want tea roses. I don't care what you think would look better. It's my wedding. No, you don't need to come over. Mother?
Is Madame Blanc coming over?
Sounds like it.
Well, I think that sounds like a good reason to head out. Ren, you want to grab some coffee?
Yeah, I could use a caffeine boost before the rehearsal. See you tonight, Reese's Pieces. Good luck.
You guys, wait up.
Toby.
Sorry, but I was already here for the table runner incident, and this is one fight I can miss. Love you.
You too. You forget your keys this time?
Therese Blanc.
Yes.
I'm Detective Daniel Bass. May I come in?
Yes. Yes, of course. Can I get you something to drink? Water? Coke? Donuts?
No, thank you. I just came to ask you a few questions.
About what?
Relax. You're not in trouble. I was brought in to help out with a missing persons case. Isaac Abrams?
Oh.
I know you put in a restraining order a couple of months ago. Do you care to give some details?
Not at all. He was someone I met online, and he just got a little too attached.
Where did you meet him online? He had a very interesting internet history.
Well, like every 20-something, I'm just obsessed with Instagram and getting that perfect shot, but my browsing history isn't that interesting. Well, outside of my research for my thesis.
Yeah, my daughter has one of those Facegram accounts or something. I try to stay away from all of that nonsense myself. But the reason I ask is because, well, Isaac had an account on this. Well, I guess the only way to describe it is a fetish website.
Oh.
And he seemed to have a very close relationship to this one user, Lady Harvester. My colleagues in New York tracked her IP address to this location, and they called me to ask the owner questions.
So, you think I'm this user?
Unless there's someone else here who uses your computer.
Well, I do have an account on that website. like I said, I'm writing a thesis on abnormal psychology, and since you've been on the forum, you can understand that it's a cesspool of perfect case studies. And there was one guy who responded to my post, and we started PMing, private messaging. It was for research, and I thought he knew that.
See, I want to believe you. You're a pretty girl, the kind every boy imagines taking home to mom. But Miss Blanc, I read the messages you and Isaac exchanged, and they don't seem like something a therapist would say to her client, or a subject, as you lovingly call them.
You read our messages?
I did.
Those messages were very personal.
Yes, they were. It sounds like there was a lot more to your relationship than just research.
I'm engaged. If he were to find out...
Then why would you send to Isaac?
Please. I know what the messages said. Do I need to get a lawyer?
I don't know, Miss Blanc. Do you think you need one?
I feel like you're accusing me of something. Something I don't appreciate. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I refuse to answer any more questions without my lawyer present.
All right. Thank you for your time, Miss Blanc. I'll be in touch if I have any other questions.
Of course.
You really didn't like the flowers.
Everything's wrong. I hate tea roses. I wanted sunflowers. Not in the apartment, Mama.
It's my apartment.
He didn't delete the messages, Mama. That fucker didn't delete the messages. The one thing I told him to do before he came here. Shit.
Who was that I passed in the hallway?
Detective Daniel Bass.
Detective? What did you tell him?
I told him what I told you, but he has seen our messages, so he knows it's all bullshit.
Well, what the hell were you even thinking meeting someone on the internet behind your fiancé's back?
He wasn't my fiancé when I met Isaac.
Now's not the time to be cute.
Then what should I do? Everything is so fucked.
Maybe you should have thought about it before you murdered.
I didn't murder him.
Fine, whatever your kids are calling it these days.
It was self-defense. I told you.
Don't tell me you're starting to believe your own lie.
He wanted it to happen. I swear, Mama.
Clean yourself up.
What are you gonna do?
Do what I've always done. Clean up your mess.
He didn't mean anything to me, Mama.
Apparently no one else does.
Spill something?
Everything is a mess.
Looks spotless as always.
No, not the apartment, just everything.
You're not getting cold feet, are you?
No. I just made a mess with the flowers earlier, and I still need a shower. Ren and Mother are going to be here in an hour to get ready. I'm a mess.
You're not a mess. You're just stressed. It's going to be okay. Just remember that tomorrow is all about you and me.
Yeah, just you and me.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I just need to know that you'll want to stay with me, no matter what.
Well, that's kind of the point. I don't think I'd still be here if I wasn't planning on sticking around.
So you'll stay with me, no matter how bad it gets.
Yeah, I don't see how it could get bad. I put up with all your family drama, and you've been pretty patient about dealing with Mallory. By the way, your mom made her cry yesterday.
She makes a lot of people cry.
And I'm willing to put up with that because that's what makes a marriage. Whatever happens, we'll get through it, for better or worse.
We should have written our own vows.
It's not too late to elope.
Yeah, right.
I love you.
Forever?
Of course. Come on, let's get ready. Ren's gonna be here soon.
You coming?
Yeah, I'm just plugging my phone in. Are Archie just texted me. He thinks we got our cummerbunds mixed up, so I'm gonna go get ready over there.
Oh, okay. I'll see you in a little bit then.
Yeah, I'll be back with the limo.
Mother, I am not moving home.
Yes, you are. Is my makeup all right? I think that bimbo went too heavy on the eyeshadow.
I can hear you.
That was not part of the arrangement.
I'm making an amendment.
Mother, no.
Do you know how much money that bastard took from me? I cannot afford for another one of your cries for attention.
Christ, are you still not ready? Where the hell is Ren? Limo's here.
And I told you I still have rollers in.
Marie, the limo's here.
So I heard. It'll wait till the bride's ready.
Is that what you're wearing?
Oh, yes. It's the latest trend in Paris. I'm waiting for Ren to finish getting dressed. Thank you for this afternoon. I really needed the reassurance.
Yeah, anytime.
It shouldn't take that long to take rollers out. I'm gonna go check on him. Can you pack my camera bag?
Sure thing.
I just washed those sheets.
Oh, we're gonna go wait in the car.
Limo.
Limo.
What's the matter? You've never been so cold.
Cold? I'm not cold. I just have a lot on my mind.
Don't tell me. I'm good at keeping secrets.
Marie, have you ever found out something that you wish you hadn't?
Oh, sure. I own a slaughterhouse.
Right. Of course. It's just, I know something that I shouldn't, and I'm not sure what to do.
You aren't getting cold feet, are you?
I don't know. I love Therese.
You just what?
I think that marrying her means committing to some things that I don't want to.
Everyone has skeletons in their closet, monsieur.
I actually like to keep my closet skeleton-free.
Did Therese ever tell you about our cat?
The one that fell out of the window.
That's what she says, but how does a cat open a window? She's always messy in the details.
Why are you telling me this?
We all have secrets, Toby. But that's why we lock them away.
I don't think this is something I can just ignore.
It's a difficult world. Are you really going to judge people for what they have to do to survive?
Marie.
Have I told you what you're getting for a wedding present?
I don't think...
I can't have my daughter marry a man with thousands in debt.
Marie.
Surely you haven't paid for medical school out of pocket?
No.
Then it's the least I could do. I might even put in a good word with the hospital in Hartford.
Are you bribing me to stay with your daughter?
It's just something to think about before tomorrow. Comfortable life. In exchange for a few skeletons seems fair, no? I leave you two to talk.
What's wrong? What's that face?
Therese, I don't know if I can do this.
What are you talking about?
I know. I saw the pictures.
You went through my camera?
Don't you dare make me into the bad guy. I wanted to make something special for tonight. A slideshow of our precious memories.
Oh, God, Toby.
Who was he?
What?
Don't play dumb. Therese, not now. Who the fuck was he? The guy on your camera, who was he?
Toby, it's complicated.
Just answer the fucking question, Therese. That's all I want.
We can talk about this later. We're going to be late.
Is that all you care about now?
I was researching for my paper. I stumbled across this website where people with weird fetishes can meet and talk. So I signed up thinking it would be interesting to interview someone with like that. Well, he just got too attached. And when I invited him over for an in-person interview, he attacked me. It was self-defense, Toby. That's all.
You expect me to believe that?
It's the truth.
Then why didn't you tell me?
It was too hard. I was embarrassed for being so stupid. I should have known he'd be mentally.
Therese, I want to believe you. But a person doesn't keep a secret this big from their partner. It makes me think that there's more.
What else do you want me to say? That I fucked him? Fine, I fucked him. Are you happy?
No.
Then what do you want from me?
I don't know. Shit, it's all fucked up. I want to forget, but I can't. You took pictures. I can't believe you took pictures.
I wasn't thinking. I was just so traumatized. I just couldn't think.
I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know. I don't know how I can.
Just tell me you'll stay. Everyone is waiting for us. You can't just walk out on me. Not now. For better or worse. You promised. Look at me, Toby. Look at me. Hey, I'm still me. Despite everything, I'm still me, and I still want to marry you.
Reese.
What will you have if you leave me? Huh?
Therese.
Nothing has to change. He meant nothing to me. He was just a research project, Toby. You are my husband. I don't want to explain to 700 people why my fiance left me on our wedding day. What would they say? There is nothing wrong with me. I am still the girl you borrowed a pencil from.
I know it's still you, and that scares the shit out of me. And you have the nerve to beg for things to stay the same.
They can stay the same. I love you.
You don't keep secrets like this from someone you love.
I fucked up, okay? I was stupid and I let things get out of hand.
Are you sorry?
What?
You killed someone. I want to know if you feel something.
It's so easy for you to judge me, right? Because you're so goddamn perfect. Kissing a smoker is like licking an ashtray, Therese. My mom used to add dill pickles to my eggs, Therese. Running every day is a great way to reduce stress, Therese. You want the truth? Fine. I killed him. But he wanted it.
I don't understand.
Of course you wouldn't. He wanted to die, so I agreed to help him. He wanted me to kill him, and I did it. No one is going to miss him. He was miserable. He had no one. He was nothing. He didn't want to exist anymore.
I don't believe this.
My intent was to carry out my duty as a doctor, to end their suffering. Unfortunately, that entailed, in their cases, ending of life. Jack Kevorkian.
Do no harm.
Do no. How is it doing harm if it's what they want?
Was it what he wanted?
Ideally, it wouldn't have been as messy. Like I told you, he got aggressive. And I did what I had to. But what does it matter if he got the results he wanted?
Was he the only one?
Of course he was the only one.
What did you do with the body?
Does it matter?
What about his family?
He didn't have one.
We can't fix this overnight.
I know. But I can't do this without you.
Do what?
All of this. You keep me here and make me feel human.
When my parents said marriage was going to be hard.
I love you.
I love you too.
Then stay. Please. I know things can't stay the same, but we need to try. This was something I had to figure out for myself. I know now you are the only man I want to be with, and the only one who truly understands me. Anyone else would have run the moment they saw those pictures, but you are willing to stay and talk to me.
All right. Let's try.
You promise you'll be waiting for me at the altar tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah, I promise. Come on, before they start to worry.
We'll be fine. I promise.
Speaking of which, your mom said she was gonna help me get a job in Hartford.
That's wonderful. I don't know if I told you, but they changed the fish entree to pan-seared stonefish with lemon risotto.
End of play. I have a lot to say, but I don't know where to start with that. God. So on a different note, I don't know why I feel like I had like a lot of feelings for Therese. Like I'm also sniffling because I cried a little bit earlier, but I just like her. I don't know why. She's such a likable character. Even though like she just straight up like killed someone, but like she's still so likable. And her mom was just like, it happens. Like, I got you. What? Yeah, I don't know. I'm full of emotions right now. So just, what do you guys think?
Well, first, I want to say great job, guys. You guys did a tremendous job, with the reading.
Yeah, you guys were great.
I think this is a play that we're all going to be, the people that come and see it are going to be thinking about for days afterwards, because there's so many things happening. I mean, aside from the actual murder and the details of getting rid of the body, Toby and Marie have just entered this complicit agreement to shelter Therese and to keep the guilt. And I don't know that it was fully, monetary driven on Toby's part. I think that's just so interesting that he loves her, but he's so torn, and he's ripped himself apart really in the years to come.
Yeah, 100%. And then also with Marie too. There's I don't know if maybe I'm picking up on things that aren't truly being referenced here, but there were certain things that stood out to me that Marie might be much more similar to Therese than we think, including the fact that you got to close dead body's eyes, and Dad was found with his eyes closed. Was something that I don't know if I just looked into that myself, but Dad was found with his eyes closed, and Marie seems to know exactly what to do with bodies and all this, and says, hey, you got to close those yourself.
I made that connection too.
Yeah, that was something that, as soon as I heard it, and I only heard it in this read through, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Well, it also makes sense because she's like, I don't remember Toby being so tall. Like, she just assumed that she killed her fiance. She was like, I don't remember Toby being so tall. Mom, that's not Toby. Oh, then who is he?
Yeah, and I'm not sure that was the intent there.
No, Marie straight up killed her husband.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay. That's what I thought it was. I wasn't.
Wait, say that again, Sam. I didn't catch that.
Marie straight up killed her husband in the past, or at least it's heavily implied.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
I did wonder, but I thought, well, let's just see what happens.
Marie's like a mafia boss. Like,
Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse, cabin in the woods.
I really like the sort of contrasting mood where Madison has to kind of go back and forth between, or Therese has to go back and forth between sort of a Friends episode and Hannibal Lecter, where, I thought a little bit, not to get too deep, like, what's her name? Hannah Arendt's quote about the banality of evil, that, that you have this sort of light, dialogue going back and forth between this really heavy material. And that's sort of how evil happens is, people kill somebody and then go home and pet the dog and read their kids a bedtime story. And I thought it was really interesting and thought-provoking.
Yeah. I like too that there's like the two sides, and then you have the detective as kind of the line in the middle. Like you have the normal with Ren and Archie and Toby, and there's the normal life, and then there's this weird sinister second life.
Mm-hmm.
And then the detective is kind of the line of demarcation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was always my intention to set it up like a light-hearted romantic comedy, and then it takes this drastic shift in scene 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah.
Can I ask Sam, where did you get this idea? I know there are so many fetishes out there, but this was new to me when I read about it, and I thought, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea came to me actually probably after my senior year of high school. I watched this movie that was based on Armin Meiwes, who was the cannibal of I can't remember his town. He was a German cannibal, and he met a willing victim on the Cannibal Cafe, and they agreed that he would bite off his penis and then kill the man, and then whatever happens. So I wanted to go with that, only swap genders because making it a female is a little more interesting, I think.
And surprising.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really like this play. This is a great play.
Jeez Louise.
Austin's face. Austin.
I'm still trying to process. Also, listening to you guys read this again, I realized that this play sounded very, very familiar.
Yeah, I submitted it to you guys like last year, and you rejected me.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it sounds really familiar. It did make it in like the top 10 for the contest, though.
Yeah, which I appreciate. And then right after
that.
Right after that, I got my acceptance at another theater, and eventually it'll actually happen.
Yeah, I was like, this sounds so familiar. But like, wow.
If I may ask, Austin, where did you get emotional? At what part?
Oh, I made a note. Let me scroll down and find that. Because I was like, I think it was like more like the mundane relationship thing. Like, I got kind of emotional whenever Toby found the camera. Because I was like, oh shit, like she's documenting everything. He's gonna find out, and it's gonna break her heart, and then he's gonna leave her, and she's gonna go to jail, and it just was like a lot of emotions all at once. And but yeah, that's actually it. Like I got real emotional, like right when he took the camera, and then you came in as a detective, and I was like, oh shit, like everything's gonna crash and burn. And I think Sam just did a great job of making Therese a very lovable character.
Yeah, and that was always the challenge. Is I recently, I think in July, just because of COVID and having nothing else to do, I revisited it, and the conversation between Therese and Marie, where they're dismembering the body and having this casual conversation, that's all new. And I wanted to make her a little more neurotic, kind of like Elliot from Scrubs, only actually dangerous.
Yeah.
I loved that show. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I felt like part of the reason that Therese was so likable is almost like I don't know if foils, like the other characters around her were like foils for like different parts of a less like psychotic version of her.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody you can actually relate to. Like you have that goofy best, at least I do, have that goofy best friend. You're like, haha, oh, that's how I am with them.
Yeah.
Same like the boyfriend and the secret affair and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Was that Ren and Archie were definitely humanizing characters. That definitely gave Therese more of a human side, but also kind of showed how Toby interacts with other people. Because a lot of plays, when I read, the boyfriend is there a lot, but you never really see the boyfriend interact with other characters. So you only have like that one side of who Toby is. But in this play, it's very nice because Toby interacts with Marie and Ren and Archie, and you see how he is with different people, and not just Therese, which gives him sort of like, you can tell why he stays with Therese. Like, it's not like he's staying with this murderer because her mom's going to pay off his medical debt. Like, he actually like cares for her because you see that because he treats her differently than everybody else. And That's.
I also think it's fascinating, that conversation where they're all talking about whether assisted suicide is okay. Because on one hand, you have set up like this friends, like rom-com style genre that you're playing with when you have Archie, Ren, Toby, and Therese. But there's still that darkness in it, but they don't take it seriously. So it's interesting to see how the darkness is in both genres you're playing in, but it's treated seriously in one and not the other.
Yeah, I was going to say that something that really interested me was the morality of the characters, because I feel like if this was a rom-com, like Archie is kind of this force of like pure evil in the scenes that I'm in, just where I'm like always being very rude and kind of smarmy and like just not really caring. Like I care about the strippers and the bachelor party and like just kind of being mean to Ren, but like in a charming way somehow, I guess. I don't know. In like, so like in the rom-com, he's the villain, but like in this context, when you have the other element, suddenly like Archie is like this just like other person. And then you also have like in the rom-com element, like cheating in a rom-com is like a huge deal. But in this, it gets like one line, like, yes, I slept with him, but like, it doesn't even get focused on because then there's the whole murder too. And that's what I thought was interesting was the fact that those kind of tropes in both genres of like a horror murder thriller and like a rom-com, like the antagonists and like virtues of everybody were just like totally kind of contrasting with each other in a way that you never get to see.
One thing that I sort of got to questioning and thinking about is to what extent Therese is honest with herself about her intentions and the reason behind what she's doing. You know, that's something that I started to wonder in a couple of different spots too. One of the main ones was, you know, she's with Isaac and they're talking about how they're going to become one and he can truly see, you know, you see me for who I really am and all that stuff. But she doesn't tell him the truth about what happened with the cat. If I'm not mistaken, she says that it fell out, right? Because he asks her and she says it fell out the window, and it just made me interested. And that's just, like, that's an interesting person to be dishonest with about that. If there's anyone that you think you would be able to be straight up. So I wonder to what extent she's honest with herself. You know, about why is she doing this? And, you know, anyway, that was something that it raised to me. Also, her name, I looked up how to pronounce Therese just to make sure I wasn't going to say it wrong.
Yeah.
And just a fun fact, I mean, the meaning of the name Therese is to reap or to harvest or gather. So that's sort of a fun little thing I found out the other night.
Yeah, that's why I picked it. This is the only play I've actually ever considered the meaning of names. And so naming Therese Lady Harvester or Reaper, I thought was a fun little Easter egg.
Yeah.
I have a question about Archie's name, which is that you specify that Archie is a ginger freak. And is that like supposed to be a reference to the Archie comics character and Riverdale?
Yeah. So in the very original draft, Archie wasn't an onstage character. So it was just a reference to the Archie comics. And then right before the first stage reading back in 2015 down in South Carolina, the director suggested making him an onstage character, mostly because he was ginger and wanted a role. And I think having Archie does benefit it because it adds more levity to such dark subject matter.
I think also, I mean, I was thinking about that Archie from, the Archie comics also, because there's that also kind of brings in that, very lighthearted, saccharine kind of genre into this really dark material.
I have a question, Sam. I felt like when I read through it, and then even a little today, there does seem to be a dark comedy to it. Would you call this a dramedy? Or do you think it's a straight up drama and it just?
I call it a dark comedy.
Yeah.
When I tag it on New Play Exchange, because there is a lot of even unintentional humor. Like whenever it does get a reading, the one time it got a reading, the cut at the joints line gets a laugh from the audience.
I want to laugh at the legs and torso. Like we're having a conversation, pick up the legs. And I'm going to lecture you about this completely other banal thing about wedding dresses. And I'll move the torso so I can get in there, you know.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if Sam knows that she does this, but almost every play that I've read of Sam's reads like an indie film.
Yeah.
And I love it so much. It's great. Because indie films don't play by the rules. They're just they take like pieces of every other kind of and just put it together, and I think Sam does a great job at that.
Thank you.
Can I ask just like a very logistical question about the play?
Yes.
What's the timeline? It does seem like they're very much rushing to the altar. Like, is there a reason for that?
I started writing this when I was 21 and didn't really fully grasp like the passage of time. In my head, it starts in actually December. I just always imagine it starting in December. And then after the act break, it kind of jumps forward a few months.
Gotcha.
So probably spring, winter. And I think that adds to the whole romantic comedy aspect of it is I've been watching a lot of Hallmark Christmas movies these past few weeks. And it's never, let's get engaged and have a normal timeline for a wedding. Let's get engaged and get married this weekend. So, and also after she murders somebody, I think there's a law where a spouse can't testify against their partner. I think it was a big thing in Atonement. So that could also be part of the reason they kind of rush it in case Toby does find out.
That's fascinating. Thank you.
Yeah, I think
Ren mentions that it was super quick, so I was wondering if there was reason for that or if it's just that like timing is hard.
Yeah, it's hard to fully capture timelines and plays.
I think Marie wants to wrap this all up and get her daughter back home where she can keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
Keep control of everything before it unravels.
Sam, if I may, the title,
yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that choice?
So this was originally titled Like a Porcelain Doll. That's why there's a lot of doll references littered throughout. That's why Marie's pet name for Therese is translated to my doll. But that title wasn't playing well with a lot of people who've read and reviewed it. So Let's Hope You Feel Better is a Jack Kevorkian quote. And just basically, is this going to make Therese feel better? Does it make Isaac feel better when he dies? And it's just an interesting way to think about, in this case, assisted suicide or their interpretation of it. Does it actually make you feel better once you get the end result?
I thought that the Kevorkian quotes that were in the play were really, really interesting, especially the one kind of at the very end of the argument, in the argument at the very end, which hearing it now seemed to be the moment for me that Toby like changed his mind. And I just love that kind of philosophical element in this crazy play where you do have like the slasher element and the rom-com, and then these like deep kind of philosophical questions about ethics. And you have like such a perfect setup for that, where you have like the med student, you know, the surgeon, there's that line about he wants to cut people open to save them, which I thought was like so smart and just so said so much with so little. And like that one part where they're just like openly debating assisted suicide, that it's asking those questions in a way that feels really organic and suits the characters and their intentions and who they are as people, while also feeling like a part of this already kind of very kind of crazy world that the play exists in.
What was interesting to me about it too, with the assisted suicide, is that the concerns of, you know, what if the mind is changed, is exactly what happened in this case. And so in most ways, the assisted suicide that wasn't really an assisted suicide, I mean, it wasn't the ethical thing that was being argued in favor of. It very quickly snapped into the opposite. I mean, it wasn't, he did change his mind. And it went through anyway. So it was interesting because there was a setup for an assisted suicide, but then it became much more of just a
Murder.
an interesting, just a homicide. Yeah, it really wasn't what was debated, which I thought was very interesting.
Hey Sam, will you talk about the significance of all the doll references? Like I made up reasons for it in my head, but I'd love to hear what you wrote.
Yes. So in a very early draft of this, back when it was a project in my junior year playwriting college at Radford, the monologue about the cat was actually about her mom's doll collection and how Therese couldn't live up to the perfection of those dolls. And even at the end, instead of Marie bribing Toby to stay with her daughter, she just gifts her daughter a creepy little porcelain doll that looks like her. But eventually I just kind of dropped that angle because I thought there was a little more significance with curiosity killed the cat and satisfaction brought it back.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I also like the cat choice because it I know that many serial killers start off with animals before they progress to humans. So like you hear that and then it's like, oh, that makes sense. The one and then the next.
Yeah.
I do have a question. In the moment that Teresa murders Isaac, is she doing it because she's thwarted and disappointed and she wants to get her thrill, or is she panicked that now he's going to be a big blow up mess in her life?
Yeah, I think it's the panic of the moment that it's implied that she's had other people interested before, but they've all backed out. Another reference to the Iron Man Midas situation, because he also had people who were interested and backed out, but he never actually killed them. He would just watch TV with them. But since Therese has worked so hard for this little idyllic image of herself, with her little doctor husband and her nice little penthouse apartment, having this guy come up and say, you wanted to kill me and possibly eat me, that wouldn't be a good look.
It's very interesting. I like just wrapping my head around it still.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions, comments, concerns about the piece in general?
I have like a very specific logistical question. In one of like the first few scenes where where Teresa's talking to Isaac, she mentions that they're going to do it at their family cabin. And then like 2 scenes later, like Toby mentions it and she's like, oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I noticed that while you guys were reading too. And that's a continuity error I should probably fix. Definitely should fix.
Okay, cool.
I noticed, but I thought she was playing it off like she was trying to kind of get Toby off the topic so she could take a moment and think, well, wait a minute. You know how that you have that moment like,
yeah,
that's an idea.
Yeah. Okay. And I think that's what I was going for in that, but I forgot to go back several scenes earlier and erase the plan to take him to the cabin while I was revising. Just didn't think about it.
So I have a logistical question in my head. So how do you, in your brain right this, how do you think the dissection goes on stage?
In my head.
Questions in my head.
In my head, and hopefully when it actually gets staged, when COVID's over, I'll let their director figure that out. But in my head, there's a coffee table and the body's behind the coffee table the whole time, just to kind of cover up the fact that we don't have the budget to get a cadaver and dissect it on stage. And then it cuts to black right before they make the first cut. So hopefully that'll satisfy everybody.
Yeah.
I had a small comment. You could take it for what it's worth. That in their first scene, Isaac is sort of pontificating about his vision of what the world to come is like, and sort of like he's the rabbi, so to speak. And then in page 27, he's asking Therese for advice about what happens after we die and what's going to happen. And I was just wondering, like, what happened between then and now, where Therese all of a sudden becomes the authority on that, or.
I think it's just there may be some hesitation on his part, and it's always interesting to know what other people think will happen to you when you die.
Yeah.
Or what happens when you die. Yeah.
Cool.
Like he clearly has a lot of regrets, so what if he is wrong?
Sure.
And there is a hell, and does it exist? And
one question that I'm like curious about, not about the play necessarily, I guess maybe it's ambiguous on purpose, but just like what happens with the investigation. Because we know that a detective is on the case, and then it just kind of leads me to wondering like what happens with Toby and Therese. Like, is Detective Bass on their trail? Does Toby become an accomplice, or does the trail go cold and like Marie does her job and Toby and Therese live happily ever after?
So there was a scene, I cut it just to shorten the play and just to have the implication that Marie paid him off. But there used to be a scene between her and the detective where she's like, hey, I know what my daughter is, but here's a check, go away. So with that comment, maybe I should keep that scene in.
But I had a line and it references that. And I use that as leverage to make Teresa do what I want.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I felt like that seemed apparent. I think the audience would get that, right?
When I read this the first few times, I didn't pick up that line. I know what line you're talking about because I was wondering about it. I didn't pick up that it was the bribe until we did the reading today. That was the first time I caught it, though.
Okay, so that's something I'll consider.
Yeah, just I'll use something. Does Therese know what really happened to her father?
She just thinks he killed himself in the bathtub.
Okay, so she's not aware that her mother is
no
on the level, I guess, that she's on. Okay, I just wasn't sure because she did really trust her mother, even though they didn't get along, to help her with the body situation, which I think is interesting.
That actually brings up a further question for me. So obviously, Marie realizes her daughter has these issues. Does Therese know that her mother knows about that? Or is Therese still trying to kind of conceal, oh no, the cat fell out of the window, not I opened the window and...
I think Therese is still trying to conceal the fact because she wants to believe there's nothing wrong with her. And being a psychology student, she knows that harming animals is the first kind of sign. Well, not the first, but a major sign that something's wrong. And so I think she does lie to herself that, no, it really did fall out the window. I didn't shove it out the window or anything. But if the window was closed and it was open, obviously Marie's going to figure something out.
I think the thing that interests me most about Marie's character is that she really is like such a loving mother in some ways, in that like her daughter makes this mistake and there's no questions asked. It's just like, okay, I'm going to help you fix this. And there's no lecture. She like jabs at Therese, but there's no aspect of that. And then in the interaction with Toby, again, it's like pretty caring, it seems to me. Like she's offering to help him for her own reasons. But like, she's clearly like a woman, if she's like murders her husband, that like can really go to great lengths to get what she wants and won't always be caring and helpful if that's what it's going to take.
Mm-hmm. That gave me another question. Why did she stand up Therese in New York City?
Probably don't have that line in there. There was a vegan protest at the slaughterhouse. So
Well,
That used to be a line in there, but I think I cut it out.
I just assumed that Marie was an on again, off again kind of.
Yeah.
Because my grandma was like that. My grandma she'd be very interested in in her son and grandkids. And then sometimes she'd just take a big step back, like, no, I have better things to do.
Yeah.
Cool. I think I told Sam this last time too, that every time she comes with a play, it's already like in great condition for a workshop, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Man." And they're always just so good. And yeah, that's all I have to say. They're just always good.
That's my next question then. One more question. Sam, how do we read your other plays? Are you published with?
I am not published with anyone. I'm a little anal, and the second I publish with someone, I can't make future changes to the play. They are on New Play Exchange.
Okay.
I have my website, which I don't have the domain name for. It's just a Wix site that has samples of my plays. The full screenplay of the play that's being made into a movie is fully available on my website, just for my own posterity. So yeah, they're all on New Play Exchange, which I think a reader membership for that is $8 a year if you're into reading plays.
Yeah, and if you wanted, you could always listen to New Year's Eve at the Stop and Go. It's on the YouTube. It's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Is that your play also, the New Year's Eve at the Stop and Go?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go check that out. Thanks, Austin.
Yeah, that one's probably my favorite one. No offense.
No, you're fine. That's the one that makes me rethink this one, just because structure-wise, New Year's Eve at the Stop and Go is very different, and I kind of prefer that structure to the structure in this one, where New Year's Eve at the Stop and Go is a full-length play with no scene breaks and an optional act break. This one takes place over a longer period of time with a lot more scene breaks, and I've edited it to fewer scenes that flow together better. But it's still, I don't know, it's weird to go back to after writing one long, cohesive 90-minute piece.
Will you keep us updated on the post-COVID production?
Yeah, definitely. I can't publicly announce where it's at until they do, but I'm very excited, and I will shoot you all an email once they figure out what they're going to do.
Sounds great. So I'm going to stop recording now, so no more great thoughts coming out.